Hello, welcome back to the Sports Shift, and boy, do we have an action-packed episode for you this week. Lots to cover, Brylin. Let's kick it right off.
A lot to do with the NFL as well. Tom Brady has officially spoken out through an Instagram post stating he will no longer be making the competitive commitment anymore to football. After 22 seasons and 7 Super Bowl titles, the 44-year-old has been trying to avoid this farewell season for a while. Brady is widely considered one of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history by owning the most championships by a single player, holding the record for most touchdown passes, which is 624, and the most passing yards, 84,250, in league history. Along with many more achievements, Brady shocked the world by leaving New England as a free agent and then leading the Tampa Bay Buccaneers straight to the Super Bowl. We wish Tom Brady nothing but the best in retirement, and it is well-deserved.
Boy, did we ever think we would see the day. I thought he was invincible. I mean, he could come out of retirement. Who would have
I
known?
honestly thought that because I would not put it past him. Gronk did it. I mean, who knows?
Brady's got to do it. But some more big news in the NFL. The Washington football team has officially announced that their new name and logo as the Washington Commanders. The franchise has decided to keep their burgundy and gold color scheme, but has revealed a new logo and uniforms for the 2022 season. Kind of like it.
I kind of like it too.
Take command.
Yeah. That's the hashtag they used on their Twitter posts, so I kind of like it. I mean, my whole life it's been Washington Redskins, like even living in Maryland, it's just kind of weird, but like we were saying earlier, it's better than the Washington football team, so. But speaking of the NFL, we're going to keep it going. The Cincinnati Bengals took over Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium. The only other person to beat Patrick Mahomes in a playoff game was Tom Brady, the GOAT. But now we are adding Joe Burrow to that list. With the Bengals down by 18 going into halftime, Burrow and the Bengals rallied to force the game into overtime. With the Chiefs winning the coin toss, morale was low on the Cincinnati sideline, but not for their defense. Von Bell intercepted Patrick Mahomes on third down, and the hungry Bengals took over to make their first appearance in the Super Bowl since 1989. The Rams, on the other hand, heading into the fourth quarter down double digits, Matthew Stafford completed 3 gritty scoring drives and sealing the game up with an interception by Travin Howard to welcome the Cincinnati Bengals to Super Bowl 56.
I told you, I locked it in last week. Joe Burrow all the way. Cincinnati Bengals, they're gonna.
Did you hear what he said about his necklace? At a press conference, someone was like, "Are those diamonds real in your necklace?" And he was like, "I make too much money for these to be fake." I was like,
I don't know if I like that attitude.
I don't, but like, okay, he didn't say it very like cocky, but I think that's cocky to me. Him and his cigars, not a fan of. But I really like, honestly, he was very impressive against Patrick Mahomes, and I'm like scared Matthew Stafford isn't going to be able to do that. I want Matthew Stafford to win, but I don't know if he'll be able to get it done.
Well, Super Bowl 56, be there, be square. And the NHL has unveiled its first ever outdoor All-Star Game skills competition events scheduled for Friday in Las Vegas. The Discover NHL Fountain Face-Off will be staged at the Fountains of Bellagio. 8 participants will travel by boat to a rink in the fountain as they must successfully shoot pucks as quickly as possible into 5 targets placed in the water, fighting through the spray of the nearby fountains. Qualifying players move to the head-to-head final. One of the participants in this event will be 3-time Olympic medalist Jocelyn Lamore Davidson, as the NHL continues its recent trend of getting more women hockey players involved in All-Star Weekend events. So we had to allude to that because you know what? We're all here for the female empowerment, and
absolutely,
I think that's great that the NHL is planning on that.
It's very exciting to see that they compete, you know, with them and kind of compare. It's really fun. But on the flip side, the Eagles, there's not a lot of Eagles news, but the NFL world will take over Mobile, Alabama this week for the annual Senior Bowl, and you can bet the Eagles will be well represented. This is really the first step of what will be a very lengthy pre-draft process for college prospects, looking to make a name for themselves in the NFL. It's their first chance to show NFL scouts they belong. After this, the NFL Combine doesn't begin until early March. The national and American squads will practice on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, leading up to the game on Saturday. The main reason for the Eagles is to be down in Alabama is to scout the 130-plus players who make the trip. In 2021, there were 106 Senior Bowl players drafted and 36 from the first 3 rounds, which is very impressive. There were 259 players drafted in 2021, which means just under 41% of the draft last year was in Alabama. With no combine last year, the Eagles scouted the Senior Bowl very thoroughly in 2021, interviewing every player down there. So it was no surprise when 5 of their picks last year came from the event. Devontae Smith, Landon Dickerson, Marlon Tuipulotu, Taron Jackson, Jacoby Stevens. The Eagles have drafted a lot of players from the Senior Bowl before. Since Howie Roseman regained control of the personal back in 2016, the Eagles have drafted 45 players, and 16 of them have been on a Senior Bowl roster.
Hopefully, we will find some more hidden gems in the Senior Bowl this week. But not only is the Senior Bowl this week, the Pro Bowl is Sunday, and the Eagles will be well represented in that game as well. The 5 talented Eagles that will be attending are Jake Elliott, Javon Hargrave, Jason Kelsey, Darius Slay, and Josh Sweat will be competing in the annual AFC All-Star Game in Las Vegas. So the best of luck to them. It should be fun. An action-packed week and weekend ahead. So
before the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Leading up to it.
There's a lot to miss, so you better, stay in front of your TV
Get on
screen.
it. Well, how does a winning streak sound?
It sounds sweet.
The Philadelphia Flyers head into the All-Star break with back-to-back victories, finally, after their win against Winnipeg Jets, Tuesday night with the final score of 3-1. James Van Riemsdyk scored the game winner on a rebound with under 5 minutes left in regulation. Oscar Lindblom sealed the win with an empty netter. Travis Konechny joined Van Riemsdyk and Lindblom as he tied up the game with a goal. This was their first regulation win since December 14th, a span of 17 games without one. The game was also the first time they have played the Jets since prior to the pandemic in February of 2022. The last 2 games have marked solid progress. Overall, they've played better in 6 of the last 7 games. Going into the break, Flyers GM Chuck Fletcher has much to evaluate and will also give the injured players a chance to recuperate and hopefully get back into the lineup sooner. The Flyers are back in business next Wednesday, February 9th, when they host the Red Wings at the Wells Fargo Center.
So I want to ask, what do you think? So now they gain this momentum prior to the break. Scott Lawton says it's a shame that we gain the momentum now and then have to go on break. Carter Hart says taking advantage of the break will be good for them, give them the rest that they need, and recuperate those injured players. So what is your view on that?
My opinion is it's kind of unfortunate that they only got into a momentum of 2-game winning streak, but I think this break is crucial for them, for those injured players. I think it will give them a time to rest and recover, but ultimately I think they're going to keep that momentum going.
Yes. Well,
does this mean a Stanley Cup?
Cinderella run? Cinderella run, but listen, whatever vacation they're all going on, whatever they're doing over this break, hopefully they keep that momentum locked in and perform well coming out of the break next Wednesday against the Red Wings. But the Phillies, a ballot loaded with star power, record setters, and players with Phillies ties, produced just a single honoree when the Baseball Hall of Fame class of 2022 was announced last Tuesday night. David Ortiz, the curse-busting slugger who helped the long-tortured Boston Red Sox win 3 World Series crowns, became the 58th player to be elected in his first year of eligibility. Ortiz received 307 of a possible 394 votes. on the Baseball Writers Association of America ballot, 75% is required for election. The ballot included several players who starred for the Phillies, including former National League MVPs Jimmy Rollins and Ryan Howard, both first-timers. Rollins received 37 votes. By garnering at least 5% of the vote, he will remain on next year's ballot. Well, otherwise, Howard was not as fortunate. He received just 8 votes and fell off of the ballot. Howard dropped off the ballot despite being one of the most feared power hitters in the game over the first 6+ years of his career. From 2006 to 2011, he led the majors in home runs. He had 4 straight seasons of at least 45 homers and 135 RBIs, joining Babe Ruth and Sammy Sosa as the only players to ever do that. Well, despite this level of production and 383 career homers, second only to Mike Schmidt in Phillies history, Howard is off the Hall of Fame ballot after just 1 year. In the end, his period of dominance, shortened by a torn Achilles tendon on the final swing of the 2011 season, just wasn't long enough. Well, you know, all I could think about is that 2008 World Series and the excitement, you know, those 2 players brought to the team, and how integral they were in gaining that championship. So,
well, you know, hopefully they can do it again.
This team, yes. But for Ryan Howard to get the recognition he deserves, hopefully next year he will get the votes that he needs.
Absolutely. So. But on to our beloved Sixers. We love our Sixers here. For the first time since his team's last meeting with the Grizzlies, Embiid was a healthy scratch for the Sixers Monday night against Memphis at the Wells Fargo Center. It was a planned rest day after a 21 consecutive game appearance for the Sixers star. Sixers head coach Doc Rivers said last week the team had discussed an upcoming rest day for Embiid. To that point, according to Rivers, Embiid had been resistant. Embiid admitted he didn't feel his best after the Sixers beat the Lakers on Thursday. However, that did not stop him from posting 36 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists in the Sixers' comeback victory Saturday over the Kings. The Sixers brought out their best supporting cast Monday night in their overtime defeat against the Memphis Grizzlies. Tyrese Maxey embraced the spotlight, racking up 33 points, 8 assists, and 9 blocks, leading the ball club to victory with the final bucket at the buzzer. The 76ers found a way to execute and come together to show what they are made of in the absence of their MVP, Joel Embiid. A thrilling game, to say the least, with a final score of 122 to 119. They are now just half a game out of locking down the top spot in the East. The Sixers continue to charge ahead in pursuit of their 32nd win of the season as they continue their homestand Wednesday night against the Wizards at 7.
Well, what a game that was Monday. Did you catch it?
I was not able to.
What a thriller down to the very last minute. And even though Joel Embiid wasn't in the lineup, they showed footage of him rushing out of the locker room after that win to go congratulate his teammates. So
it's really exciting that they were able to play that well, though, without Joel Embiid, because like I just stated, they're fighting for the top seed. And it's impressive that they're able to play that well without their superstar. And hopefully that momentum can carry them through the playoffs. Hopefully we're not just like keep going up and then we're going to go down. Let's, you know, keep this going throughout playoffs.
Well, I think that game was definitely a teller of the depth they have and the potential they have to succeed further in the playoffs because they kind of like, he has a great supporting cast, obviously, through that game. And hopefully that will give them a long run.
Absolutely.
Hopefully to the championship.
We want a parade in Philly for the Sixers.
Yes, we do. For someone give us a parade down Broad Street, please.
Unfortunately, onto our Neumann athletes. Unfortunately, the men and women's basketball games against Cabrini University got postponed on Saturday due to the snowstorm. But no need to worry. They are back in action tonight in the Miranda Center. Jump ball for the women's is at 6 p.m. and the men at 8 p.m., both going head-to-head with conference matchup, the Gwen and Mercy Griffins. We want to win. We want a W in that column.
Yes, we do.
The women's hockey team, which check out the interview later on in the show, the women's hockey team had a tough weekend against Utica College, with Caitlin Brown scoring their only goal in the road trip. Goaltender Emma Swansburg faced 48 shots on Friday, and Michelle Bacon saw 59 on Saturday afternoon. The Knights have an off week this weekend and hopefully can rest up and recover in order to play Chatham the following weekend, which actually is their senior night. So hopefully they can get a win for their seniors.
And we know they need that rest. We definitely know they do. But a heartbreaking loss Friday night for the men's hockey team. The Knights were able to come back and make the game interesting in the third period, with Luke Croucher scoring a goal and Evan Hoey tallying 2. Unfortunately, the men lost in overtime, but they sure made up for it Saturday night, beating Arcadia University 8-3, with 13 different players adding to the point column for the Knights. Hopefully they will be able to carry this momentum into the weekend, hosting Stevenson University Friday at 7 p.m. and Chatham University at 4 p.m. Saturday, both at Iceworks on Rink 3. So make sure you get there. You do not want to miss it, and cheer our men's team on.
Yeah, absolutely. And unfortunately, the men's volleyball team was swept last night at Wilkes University, but they're coming back for revenge, and they have a chance to bounce back as they welcome Rosemont College in their home opener tomorrow night at 7. So we can finally, hopefully this home opener stays. Hopefully it doesn't get postponed like last game. So I'm just waiting for them to play more games.
Yeah.
They've only played 3.
Yeah, the snow's been meddling around. The weather's been meddling with us, but hopefully they could get their scheduled games in. But the men and women indoor track teams take home top marks at the Muhlenberg Invitational last Friday, with Erin Williams placing first in shot put, throwing 9.44 meters. Courtney Humphreys running the 1,000-meter run in just 3 minutes and 19 seconds to finish first. And Geneva Kanaki placed third in the 200-meter dash, finishing in 31.9 seconds. Drew Kanitsi continues his dominance, earning first in the 400-meter dash, finishing at 52.7 seconds, while Marquise Brown and Muhammad Daffy placed 4th and 5th. Our Knights will hit the track again at Ursinus College Saturday for the Frank Colden Invitational, and we wish them all the best.
Wish them all the safe travels, best of luck in all your games and matches. But, Ria, the Olympics are starting tomorrow. But opening ceremony is Friday, so it's very, very exciting. I'm sure you'll be hearing some Olympic news every now and then, every Wednesday morning. But I just want to thank you for tuning in, and stay tuned because we have a very exciting interview with 2 incredible athletes on the women's ice hockey team. Stay tuned.
Hi, and welcome back. We're here with our 2 interviewees this week. We got a double threat here, Brigitte and Rachel. Brigitte is a sophomore, Rachel is a junior, both on the women's ice hockey team. Thank you for being here with us today.
No problem.
Mike made up for last week. We didn't have an interview, but this week we got the double threat on. So tell us just about what positions you play and how you got started into hockey.
I'll go first. So I play right wing. I didn't play right wing until my senior year of high school. I played defense all before that. But I was a very offensive defenseman, but I started playing hockey when I was 4 because my sister and my brother both played. My brother used to go here, Noah Maikisch, and then my sister lives all the way out in Colorado, and she's playing ice hockey out there. So
awesome.
So I'm defense. I actually played offense for 8 years. The past 4 years I played defense. I got into hockey through my family. My cousins play, my dad played, my uncles played, and then I had neighbors that played, so it all just kind of came together and I started.
Keeping it in the family.
Yeah.
That's what I like to hear.
So your season is kind of coming to an end now, and what is your mindset like going into these next few games?
Obviously we want to win all of them, but also for me it's just coming together as a team, and even if we lose the game, if we feel like we overall won it, just staying positive and helping each other and being positive, that's the mindset I want to go in with.
Yeah, no, I agree. Just winning the games and being a support system for each other. Just finish out the season strong with some wins, especially against Chatham. We really want to beat them. I transferred from there, so
Yes.
yeah, we really want to beat them, and maybe with these next 4 games, if we win all of them, get a spot into playoffs. So
yeah, make a statement.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. So It's no coincidence that today is International Women in Sports Day. So what does it mean to both of you to be a female athlete?
I feel like female athletes don't get as much recognition as like male athletes, obviously looking at like national leagues and stuff like that, but just keeping women's sports up in general is a lot. It's a lot on us because if we look bad, then like women all around look bad. So just kind of like, I don't know, like keeping it like up, I guess.
Yeah, making a statement, kind of showing people that, you know, women can play sports, especially with hockey. Like the Olympics, for example, 2018, women's came out on top, and, you know, it's just making a statement, showing people that we are capable of doing whatever men's teams can do and players can do, and that we have the same skill sets and the same mindsets as them.
Right,
Yeah.
giving it your all and showing you have that great potential to succeed.
Let's hope the women can do it again.
Yeah.
Start on Friday.
You don't want to miss it.
But like I said before, the season is coming to an end, and that also means senior night. And I just want both of you to, you know, explain how the seniors this year, you've known them for about 2 or 3 years, how have they made an impact on you on and off the ice?
Well, obviously coming into my freshman year was like the year after the major pandemic. So like they were like, oh, well, we can't hang out with really other teams if we want a season. So they kind of kept us all like together, and we were always doing stuff together. Same with this year, like we're always with each other doing stuff. So making sure everyone gets along and like we all on and off the ice, like we're a family in general, is really helpful, and our captains and all of our seniors on that end like really helped us with that this year.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So coming from a different viewpoint, told you guys that I transferred. My freshman year was a really tough time. Coming into here, I felt welcomed. They really made me feel like I was a part of an actual team, motivated me, you know, to play my best. I gained a lot of confidence on this team. Just being a player myself, skating the puck up, making plays that I never thought I could. And then off the ice, just being a support system for us. I mean, personally for me, I struggled a lot with injuries the past year, and everyone has always been there to support me during that time, so.
That's the typical Neumann community
Yes.
here. Everyone's very welcoming, and like even if you're not an athlete, I feel like you see a familiar face everywhere you go, and it's just really nice to have that environment.
Yes. And going off of that, injuries and being a transfer, on top of all of that, dealing with COVID, what has pretty much kept your positive mindset? Like, how have you plowed forward and continued to excel in your sport?
Definitely having friends that play at other schools, not having seasons. I was grateful. We only had a 10-game season last year with COVID. I was super grateful for that. Like, we actually got an opportunity to play, even though we had to get tested and do all these protocols. Like, it was worth it. We still got to touch the ice and go forward with it. So,
yeah, as long as you can still do the craft you love.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hopefully next year's like not, you know, COVID anything. Like you don't even have to worry about it. So, but it's good that you guys have a full season this year, right?
Yeah.
Full games, but
It's a lot more than last year.
Yeah.
a lot more tiresome on the body.
Yeah. And like this year with COVID, your games kept getting postponed, right? And so there was 1 week you guys had 4 games. That was like a lot on your bodies. I can
2
only
weeks
imagine.
in a row. We had 4 games in 5 days.
Oh my goodness.
So like, and then a ton of people were coming back on protocol and stuff like that, or like injury protocol. So at one point we had like, I think it was like 12 or 13 skaters, and like, if you don't know the game of hockey, that's 5 on the ice at a time, and one of the 13 was a goalie. So like, that's where freshmen and sophomore and some juniors really had to be like, stand up and just be like, we need to go on the ice and work like our butts off just to hopefully get something out of it.
so going off of that, what do you anticipate the rest of the season looking like? Maybe the off season, if there's any plans for your team, what would that look like?
Obviously the rest of the season, I hope that we can pull out some wins, but postseason, I think we're really gonna hopefully take some time to ourselves, like as in like resting our bodies, because like I said, we've been playing hockey after hockey. Like I couldn't tell you the last time I probably sat down besides on a Sunday. So, but just taking time to like replenish ourselves and hopefully like next season thinking more about our bodies first too. So.
Well, that makes us even more grateful that you two ladies are here with us today, giving us your time. And with that, we're going to go into our time 10.
Our time
on a
10.
lighter note.
This is a very exciting game. No pressure at all, I promise. But I'm going to ask you a question. There's going to be 10 questions. You're going to be timed for 1 minute. And you guys can go like one at a time or whatever, just as quick as possible. Just say the first thing that comes to your mind. All right, Mike McCrossin, do we have the timer? Perfect. Ready, set, go. What is your childhood actor or actress crush?
Benny from The Sandlot.
Yes,
Zac
I love
Efron.
that. Love both those answers. Most used emoji.
Laughing emoji.
The heart.
If you could bring back a fashion trend, what would it be?
Bootcut jeans.
Fanny packs.
If you had to eat one meal every day for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Tacos.
Yeah, probably a burrito bowl.
Perfect. Favorite Olympic sport that isn't hockey?
Bobsledding.
Snowboarding.
What fictional world or place would you like to visit?
Harry Potter.
Oh boy. Yeah, probably like Harry Potter.
Nice. Most embarrassing memory?
A ref blew a whistle and I went and shot the puck anyways.
I tripped over a bucket in the locker room and face planted in front of everyone.
I remember that.
Yeah.
What Disney character do you feel you most represent and why?
I'm gonna have to say Olaf, because just like being upbeat and trying to bring positivity to everyone, even when bad things are happening.
I love that.
I was going to say the little blue lizard from Frozen too. I don't know, he just makes me laugh all the time.
You go hand in hand. And if you could instantly become an expert at something, what would it be?
Math.
Yeah, probably math and science.
Last question. If you could have a superpower, what would it be and why?
Invisibility, so then I can just
say
kind
that.
of disappear when I need to.
That's what I was going to say.
Oh my goodness. Well, time did expire. No, we have 2 seconds left.
But you still succeeded, so you will, in reward to that, Mike McCrossin will each give you both $1. Mike, you can come up and give
me
them
my money.
So congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks.
From our intern, Mike McCrossin. Yes.
Go buy not even a pack of gum. I don't know what you get.
Go to Five Below, get some candy.
Thank you so much for joining us. We loved having you. We wish you the best of luck in the rest of your season, and we hope all is well in the rest of your school year as well.
Thank you.